Imagine this. It's a Monday morning. You've just got into your office, inserted your link pass into your laptop, and you click into your email and you see the subject line. Notice a reduction in force. Those 4 words no federal employee ever wants to see pop up in their inbox. If you're facing a crisis as a federal employee, whether it's an impending layoff, government shutdown, or even an abrupt termination, stop and take a deep breath. Because today I'm going to show you how I'm handling this with a step-by-step action plan to navigate this storm and come out stronger on the other side. Hi, I'm Nika, and not only have I lived through this and am living through this now as the federal government cuts its workforce, coached others when they've gone through it in my previous roles and places of employment. So consider this video your emergency toolkit for your federal career crisis. Step 1, don't panic, get informed. First things are first. When the crisis hits, emotions run high. It's natural to feel angry, betrayed, or even maybe terrified. That might be a little bit strong of a word. But your power move right now is to replace panic with information. Knowledge is your friend. If you got the layoff notice, a RIF notice, read it carefully. What's the timeline? Are there any options like a bump or a retreat rights? For those in competitive service, you might recall those terms. Do you qualify for any special considerations like discontinued service, retirement, or a DSR? For example, if you're over 50 with 20 years of service, you might have been able to take your pension early. That's critical. That's what a part of what the F.I.R.E was about, right? So I'm going to be letting you know, giving you all the tea, as much as I know, as things are unfolding. And then you want to know, what about your benefits? What about unemployment claims? The point is, gather the facts. When I went through something similar years ago, I spent a day calling HR, reading the guidelines, and even talking to my representatives. And that enabled me to transfer my fears into a plan. So ask, research, write down your findings. When you know the rules of the game, you can strategize. Step 2, secure your finances, at least short term anyways, if you haven't been already. Next, handle the immediate financial hit. Let's say you have a date that your paycheck stops. We need to stretch your resources. Look at your budget. Cut out all non-essentials. Pause those subscriptions. Hold off on any big purchases. I call it financial triage. Simultaneously, identify any quick financial relief available. Apply for unemployment insurance. Yes, federal employees, we are entitled to, generally speaking, to unemployment benefits at the highest tier. Unfortunately, if you live in my state, Louisiana, the highest tier is only $275 a week. Also, if your agency offers this or a severance package, consider taking it. You'll also get your annual leave if you have especially if you have a bunch of leave saved up. So think about that. That's going to be another lump sum, which can serve as a cushion. If you have any sick leave, you won't get cashed out of that. So start taking those days. Pay up your rent and maybe even mortgage. Sock away canned goods and things like that you can store long term. Things might be tight for a while, but planning to have the bare bone minimum version of your budget for a while will reduce your anxiety. The goal is to avoid panic moves like cashing out your TSP or taking high interest rate loans. We want to buy some time with what you have. Step 3, rally your support network. You don't have to go through this alone. Reach out to former colleagues, current friends, mentors, anyone in your professional circle. Let them know what's going on, which most people already know if they have breath in their body and are alive and paying any attention, because thousands of federal workers are in your shoes. Why? Well, there might be a lead on some detail opportunities, some contractor roles, or even maybe some temp jobs. Make sure you update your LinkedIn profile or create one if you haven't never created one. And always keep your eye out for other opportunities out there. Update your resume if you haven't done so already. If you haven't started already talking to family members, now is the time to start speaking with family members for emotional support, and also letting them know if they don't know what you do, what your skills are, what your expertise are. I got my federal job because of a family member who knew what my background was. Send courtesy emails and messages on LinkedIn, letting your network and connections know what's going on and that you're open to new opportunities. If you hear the need of any opportunities that a fellow coworker might be more suited for, let them know, share that information with them. That will go a long way, and they may see something that they know that you would be better suited for, and they'll return the favor. Step 4, explore all immediate opportunities. Bridge the gap. Now, as you stabilize the immediate situation, start exploring bridge opportunities, things that can generate income or keep your career momentum in the interim. One avenue could be short-term or freelance work. Do you have the skills? Do you have skills you can monetize quickly? Most of us do. For example, if you're an accountant or you work in budget with USDA, for instance, maybe some local businesses could use your bookkeeping help. If you were a HR specialist and you did a lot of training, maybe there's a contract to develop training materials for a private firm. There's tons of websites that are popping up specifically for federal employees, and I'll have a couple of those in the description, so be sure to check those out. And then you want to join different organizations and associations that are in your field, or maybe a field that you're interested in, and start attending some of those events that they have. I call this staying in the ecosystem. This is going to go a long way with helping you to either increase your network that you already have, or build one, or start to build one, because you're definitely going to need a network. Then you want to look at the gig economy. Look at sites like Upwork and F.I.R.E. These are for professionals, from copywriting to video editing to writing press releases, resumes. All kinds of creative opportunities are on those particular sites. So I've done different writing projects, like I have a book on Amazon. I have a couple of coloring books and maze books on Amazon. You know, if you can write just a little bit, or if you're just a little bit creative, you can create digital products that you can sell. For long term, check out my Fed to Freedom Blueprint roadmap. And this is where I want to pivot. Now, when I say long term, I don't necessarily mean years and years or anything like that. Following my blueprint, you can literally be up and running and earning some extra money in 90 days. So what do you want to do next? You have a chance now to reinvent yourself. Do you want to jump back into the job market, whether it be in federal service once the hiring freezes up, or your local governments or state? Or is this the time to start building something on your own? If you've been watching my channel for any amount of time now, you know I'm all about creating multiple income streams and turning my expertise and yours into a business. Maybe you've always had a passion or a side hustle idea, but you never really had time to focus on it. Well, now you may have the time, so use it wisely. I suggest making a 2-track plan. Track A is searching and applying for jobs, federal and private, or government and private. That can provide some stability if you need that. And track B is simultaneously starting your own side hustle or small business. Why both? Because track A is not guaranteed and often slow, as we know, right? Whereas track B is you taking control. Okay? So I would suggest that you start really focusing on track B. I have had several side businesses for the last 6 years because I've gone through layoffs and downsizing even when I was in the private sector. So this is nothing new to me. And so ever since then, I've always had some type of side income or gig generating me money. Okay. And sometimes it's been doing Uber and Lyft and DoorDash. Those things can be somewhat lucrative. If you really get out there and hustle, you can earn $200 to $300 in a day. I've done it. Even if you don't live in a big town or a big city, I've been able to do it when they offer, especially when they offer bonuses and stuff like that. So you can do those things. You can start doing something like that right now. It only takes a couple of days to get signed up with Uber and Lyft. You know, and there's some people that during the pandemic, they took side hustles like Uber and Lyft. And then there's other side hustles where you medical courier and stuff like that, where they took a leap of faith and they started doing those things full time. And they quit their 9 to 5. Or they never went back to one after they got downsized. But whatever it is that you're doing professionally, you can turn around and monetize that skill. So this could be a blessing in disguise. It's all about learning how to utilize those soft skills like leadership, communication. This crisis can actually be another catalyst, just like the pandemic was a catalyst for a lot of people. So let's recap. The Federal Crisis Action Plan. Stay cool, stay calm, and stay informed. Understand exactly, what's happening and what your options are. Not rumors, but get the facts. Stabilize your finances. Cut costs wherever you can in your personal budget. Use benefits. Create a bare bones budget to stretch your resources. Activate your network. Update your resume. Create your LinkedIn profile or update it if you haven't updated it in a while. Look into gig opportunities like rideshare and food delivery. Those are things that you can get started with right away. Medical carrier, all of those types of things you can get started with right away. And start to build your journey towards something even better. Maybe even your own business or a more fulfilling career. I want you to remember one thing. You're not alone and you're not powerless. It's real easy to start to feel like a victim. You're in a big organization and they get to decide your fate. But the secret is you're still in control on how you respond and what you do next. In fact, your response can turn this from a catastrophe into a turning point. Now, I promised an action plan and I have it for you. But maybe you're thinking, this is a lot. I could use some help figuring out my step 5, my long-term plan. That's exactly why I'm here. Someone who's navigated a career crisis in the past and successfully was able to pivot after getting downsized out of a 6-figure position. And this was back in 2008. So if you want more personalized guidance on executing your plan Whether it's polishing your resume for a job hunt or brainstorming profitable ways to use your expertise, I invite you to book a free 15-minute discovery call with me. In that call, we'll focus on your situation and I'll help you identify an immediate next steps and opportunities. The link is in the description to book your call and to download your Fed to Freedom roadmap. And again, even if you work in the private sector, the Fed to Freedom blueprint is still applicable to you. You can just take out the word Fed and put in the word private sector employee if you want. But either way, the Fed to Freedom roadmap is a blueprint and a tool that can help you so that you're not spinning your wheels and wasting a lot of time like I did. You can download it. Again, the link is in the description, and print it out and use it as your checklist. So I know it's tough right now. It's probably 3 a.m. if you're like me. I seem to wake up at that time almost every night, or morning, I should say. But I hope that you see now that there is a way through this, and even a way to turn things around for yourself. You don't have to sit and wait and hope and wonder. You can start to work on your plan B right now. Back in 2008, I experienced being downsized, and plenty of us landed right back on our feet. Maybe it took a year or two, but eventually most people that I know that was in my industry at the time landed back on their feet and are doing better now than they were back then. So if you found this video helpful, please give the video a thumbs up for me. And if you know someone who is a federal employee or who just got RIF'd or took the DRP, please forward this video and share this video with them. They may find it helpful. They may want to download the Fed to Freedom roadmap, and they may want to book a discovery call with me. But you've got this. You're tougher than what you think you are. And with a solid plan, we're going to get through this together and rise even higher than where we were before. So stay safe, stay proactive, and I'll catch you in the next video. As a matter of fact, the video coming up you might find of interest in regards to what's been going on with the RIFs and the downsizing at some of the other agencies out there. All right, see you in the next one.